So AI is definitely going to take over the world. I don't think that there's really any debate about that. Now, when it comes to actually implementing AI into our lives and, just everybody being obsessed with AI and everybody just using ChatGPT on a daily basis or even just using it as a therapist or as their journal or as their career coach, whatever the case might be, however you actually do use AI, there's one fundamental thing that's always going to be lacking within AI. And it's really simple once you kind of look back at humanity and you kind of think about it. But at the end of the day, I don't think that people realize and understand on how much this thing is actually going to be needed to actually survive in the future. And there's two things that always come into my mind whenever I think about AI versus just human interaction. Now, look, a lot of people are going to definitely flock towards AI for, whether it be romantic partners, whether it be for therapists, whether it be for really anything. Any human need that you could potentially have, yes, technically speaking, AI can fulfill aside from physical needs at the moment, but I really do think that robots are eventually going to take that role of humans as well. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be a good thing personally, but that's just me and that's how I view the world. You might think very differently, but either way, the thing is that human interaction is still going to be needed very much, even when AI basically becomes a very daily and intimate partner and intimate companion in our lives. The reason why I say that is because I think AI is just a yes man at this point. I don't think that that's changing anytime soon. I think AI is literally being programmed to just tell you yes, even when you're wrong. That's just how it always goes, right? Like, think about it. You would probably not use AI as much if it didn't validate your ideas, if it didn't validate your feelings or your emotions. That's programmed within the system. There's no pushback that comes with just talking to an AI therapist. It's all from your perspective. You're feeding it the information. So whatever input that you actually give an AI agent or just ChatGPT or Google Gemini or really any of these models that you use, any input that you give it, it's going to produce an output based off of that input. So if you give it crap in the beginning, it's going to shoot out crap as well. If you give it great information from two perspectives, if you're in a conflict or a fight, then it's going to base a judgment off of that as well. Now, here's the thing that always gets tricky. In my opinion, there are two things that are very fundamental on the human experience, and that is conflict and that is hardship. Now, you might be thinking that conflict and hardship, you want to avoid them as much as possible. When I was younger, I would actually make that same statement as well, that you should avoid conflict and hardship at all times. Like, you just want everything to be easy, you want everything to be handed to you as well. And now I do have a little bit of a different perspective on those things. And really, it's literally because I think it's just so fundamental to the human existence, to the meaning of life per se. You need conflict and you need hardship in your life. And I do think that AI reduces that. I think AI reduces a lot of friction that people have in their lives. And I do think that that comes at a very detrimental cost as well. The thing is, gold is basically refined by melting it and refining out the impurities. You're not going to get pure gold, essentially. And I think that the same thing can be said about the human experience as well. Unless you go by trial by fire, you're not going to get the results that you actually desire. You're not going to get the output that you actually desire as well. Any businessman that you see, anybody who didn't inherit their money or their fame, they have gone through trial. It's just inevitable. The reason why I say this is because the more conflict, the more hardship that you actually go through in this life, everything becomes little by little, it becomes easier. You become more resilient towards these things. And what happens when every single thing that you actually endure is just dopamine hit? You have no development. You are not able to pursue or do really anything. Think about this. Steph Curry, LeBron James, and any NBA superstar that you could possibly think of, they did not become who they did by just winning all the time, by just making every single shot that they took. They had to miss several hundreds of thousands of shots. They had to lose finals. They had to endure a lot of pain to become the players that they are. That mental resilience is always needed. And that is something that I really do appreciate now. For example, in the NBA, there's always this theme of, oh, this team is too young. They're not battle tested. They're not winning the finals this year. Maybe next year, maybe 2 years from now, they just need to experience a lot. They need to be battle tested by playing other teams that are better than them or execute on the game plan better than them. And then maybe then they will be able to win an NBA championship. Because to win an NBA championship is no easy feat. There's a lot that needs to go right. There's a lot that you need to do right as well. And until you become battle tested and until you become mentally, physically, and emotionally resilient, you're not going to be able to, kind of just taste that victory of an NBA championship. It very rarely ever happens to teams that they're able to just make the finals. And I know AI is supposed to make our lives easier. And I do think that in the short term, AI is going to make our lives easier. But the complete sabotage of the human race is going to happen with this ease that comes to us. We are going to depend on AI so much that we're going to forget about ourselves. We are going to forget about how to endure any type of hardship. And maybe this generation has already forgotten about hardship and conflict and resolve things and how to just be resilient and how to get over things. And I'm talking about my generation, by the way. I'm not hating on anybody else. Maybe we have already forgotten about that, but I do think that it is exponentially going to be worse. And if we don't have hardship and conflict in our relationships, in our day to day lives, then we are going to forget how to live. Any amount of dopamine that you chase, any amount of dopamine that AI is going to be able to give you, it's all going to be useless in your mind and in your brain. It's not going to hit the same. I've experienced this myself, and I do think that it's going to get much worse as we do progress as a society and we do implement AI and all of these different companion tools and robots and all of these different things into our society. The worst thing about it is going to be that people are going to crave something even while they have everything that they could have possibly wished for, and they're not going to know what to do with themselves. And that's the scary part of it. When you don't go through any conflict, when you don't go through any hardship in your life, you have everything and yet you still feel empty. You don't know what's missing because on the external, looking from the outside, you see people, kind of just working hard. You see people going through hardship and you think, well, I never want to do any of that because that's hard work. And rightfully so. Who wants to work hard? Nobody actually physically or mentally wants to work hard. I get that. But for what it does for you on the inside, it's immeasurable. And I think if we keep on getting these cheap dopamine hits, whether that be through chatting with ChatGPT or using voice mode on it or doing really anything, it's going to be detrimental to us. It's going to alter our brain chemistry. It's going to, just make us be dependent upon it to the point where we are going to forget how to live properly. Now, whether that's good or bad, that's up to you. I think that it's going to exacerbate a lot of the problems that we already have within society, whether it be the loneliness epidemic, whether it be any problem that you can possibly think of in your life. I think it's going to exacerbate it all. But yeah, it's just something to always keep in mind that you are definitely going to need hardship and conflict. And I think AI is not going to let us do that. So because of that, I think human beings are definitely going to try to their best to seek it out as well. And if you're watching this video like a year or two from now, maybe in like 2027, you'll probably see the effects of it already. I'm making this video in 2025. It's June 1st right now. I don't know when exactly I'm going to post this after editing it. But if you see this video and you see that AI has taken over your life, then try your best to actually just go out and explore and try to find some hardship in your life as well and try to overcome that. The peace and the serenity and the dopamine hits that you'll get from that are going to be much better than what you feel right now once you just rely on AI. Anyways, I just wanted to get my point across. I wanted to get my thoughts out there for a little bit. And yeah, that's it. I know that this was not really like tech focused. I mean, it kind of was, but either way, I do think that we're heading down this road, and I do think that it's very important to document everything and to make sure that there's a little bit of pushback to all the great ideas that are out there in the world. I can be completely wrong as well, by the way. I'm not an expert. I'm just looking at things through a point of view that I have from my experience and from what I think is going to happen. And I can be completely wrong about all of it. So don't take my word for it. Make up your own opinion about it. See how you feel. See how it aligns with your moral values and go from there. I'm just some guy that's trying to talk to a camera on YouTube and just trying to get some subscribers, okay? I'm not trying to do anything else. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, guys. Bye, guys.